Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I am here with another flash sale. I am going to show you what I'm offering patrons and YouTube members, and if there are any leftovers, the items will be going on eBay. So any of you who are not patrons or members and don't ever want to be, you have an idea of what you might see later. I will say the last flash sale that I did sold out completely inside those platforms, Patreon and YouTube memberships. So I didn't have anything left for eBay. But that was batiks, and batiks are pretty popular. Today I have regular quilt cotton, all florals. If you watched my last fabric unboxing, you'll see that I got a lot of florals. So you can go watch that video, and I'm going to show you right now. What else did I want to say? I'm not going to tell you about Patreon and YouTube memberships. I have links down below. You can go check out those platforms. It'll explain some things. I do want to say that for flash sales and fabric frenzies, along with my exclusive videos, you have to be at the $5 level on Patreon, and on YouTube there's only one level, $4.99. So it's all even Steven except by a penny off. And the other thing I'm going to mention is that if you're interested in just the fabric, I don't ship internationally outside of the USA during flash sales or frenzies, but I do, however, if the items end up on eBay, because they have a global shipping program and I don't have to do all the work with the custom forms and all that stuff. Shipping is always free in the USA, but if you're outside of the USA and you buy something on eBay or you win an auction on eBay, one of mine, you do have to pay the shipping. Again, through the global shipping program. Okay, I'm going to jump right in this here. I got 25 yards of quilt cotton in my last order, and they were almost all florals, or at least a lot of them were. What I did is I picked out those that just had like smaller floral prints and like kind of all over. There were some that were big prints, and that doesn't make much sense if you are cutting smaller pieces, because sometimes you don't get much of a flower or whatever. So I pulled out all the smaller ones, and there was 16, so I liked that because it's a nice even number. So the first thing we have up for grabs are these fat quarters. I'm going to just show you quickly, but there are pictures of all the prints, and you get 16 of these. I will tell you the price and show you the size. Let me just get through this because I can't do this and also think at the same time. Like that. So a fat quarter is a yard that is cut in half both ways. So it's 18 inches tall, which is half a yard, and it's half the width of the fabric. So usually around, anywhere from 20 to 22 inches, and it includes the selvage on one end. Anytime you buy fat quarters, you will get the selvage. It's a nice big piece. For those of you who don't know what it looks like, that's what it looks like. And you get 16 different prints. So those are the fat quarters. Oh, they're going to be, let me see, 27 for patrons and members, and then 30 if they make it to eBay. Next we have something different. It's not something I made up. It's an actual size, but I don't think I've ever offered them in any of the sales that I've done for Fabric Frenzies. I used to offer them a long time ago because I sold fabric on eBay a long time ago. I even had a whole separate ID for that. Can't remember what it was, but it's still out there somewhere. Maybe Fabric Addicts, something like that. I don't remember. A fat eighth is like, imagine going to the store and ordering a quarter of a yard. They're just going to cut a quarter across. So it's 9 inches tall. Well, a fat eighth is half of that width. So it's like a quarter of a yard, a long quarter of a yard cut in half. And I'm going to show you. I don't have everything sorted yet, so I'm going to just show you like one. So it's 9 inches tall by, I'm going to say 20 to 21 inches wide. Now, normally they leave the selvage on one end because every piece would have a selvage. But I forgot and I just cut them off. So you don't have a selvage. So that's how it looks. Again, a very good size. I was going to do a chubby 1/8 also. I've made up the term chubbies, but it's almost the same dimensions. It's just in the other direction, so I'm not going to bother with that. The fat 8s are $15.50 for patrons and members, and $18.50 if they make it to eBay. Next, we have our well-known fat 16ths. Again, this is an actual size, and these generally run about 10 inches wide, 9 inches tall. Mine tend to be around 9.5 and 10.5, 10.5 wide, 9.5 tall-ish. They vary. And, you know, I'm not cutting with a ruler and a rotary cutter. I'm doing the quick method with scissors and cutting on the fold, cutting stacked. So I like to give you a little extra because if you want something, you know, perfect, it gives you some room to trim. So if you really wanted a 9 by 10 exactly, you could trim this to 9 by 10. I hope. I mean, I'm not perfect, but you know what I mean. Jelly bean. The 16ths, fat 16ths are $9 for patrons and members and $12 if they make it to eBay. Next, we have the chubby 16th. Now, this is a term I made up, as far as I know. I searched everywhere for this size, and this is still a 16th of a yard, but it's cut in a different way. So instead of, you know, more of a rectangle, almost a square, it's a long rectangle. And this is actually the width this way. So again, this is half the width of the fabric, and it's about 4.5 inches tall, and the width can vary. Again, I'm going to say 20 inches, 21 inches. It can be a little bit more. So if you see some longer than others, don't think the others are too short. The others are actually too long. So you're getting a little extra. And again, no selvage on these. And those are also $9 for members and patrons, and $12 if they make it to eBay, because they're still a 16th of a yard cut, and you get 16 of them. Everything you saw so far, you're going to get 16, one of every print that you will see on the listings. Next, we have our scrappy pre-cuts. So once again, like with the batiks, I'm giving you 2 of each, just so it makes it be enough. So you're going to get 32, 2 of each of the 16 prints, and I tried to cut them about the same size, not like my scrappy pre-cuts that I sell during frenzies. Those are actually the butt ends of fabric, and so I just cut on the folds and fold and cut and fold and cut, and so the sizes can vary. But these, I take the time to actually try to measure and make them about the same. So these ended up being about, let me tell you the size, 4.75 inches wide by about 6.5 inches tall. And there is a little bit of varying because some of the fabric I barely had enough, so it might vary by 1/4 of an inch, maybe even 1/2 an inch somewhere. This actually equals a total of over 1/2 a yard, not quite 2/3, in between there somewhere, and that's according to weight and also by size. When all the squares are about the same size, I can easily figure that out, how much there is, by using multiplication. But when the pieces are all different sizes and I have like 100 of them, I go by weight, and then I can tell you guys about how much there is. So these scrappy pre-cuts, which I really like, I wanted to tell you, I wasn't like thrilled with all florals, but when they're cut and they're put together, it's just, I don't know. How come I can't fan this? I don't know. But anyway, they just look good together. I like it very, very much. So these are going to be $6 for 32 pre-cuts. if you're a member or patron, and $9 if you are waiting for them to appear on eBay. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm only working with a yard of each print here, so I don't have a whole lot of this shit. And the pre-cuts, last time I had 16 of the batiks, and they all sold out. But this time, I snuck in those fat 8s, so that took up some fabric. I only have 4 sets of the pre-cuts, so I have a feeling those are gonna sell out. But fear not, you still have a chance to at least bid on the little scrappy auction that is going to be up sometime tonight. The auction for the scraps will at least be up for a week, so you have a little bit of time. Even if those aren't up, go check out my eBay auctions. I almost always have penny auctions running, unless it's just before I'm traveling. And I also have store items. Again, if I'm traveling, I do shut down the store. But just go check them out. There's always something fun that you can bid on or buy. So the scrappy pre-cuts, there's not a whole lot of these. And again, let me figure out, I did weigh it. Let me see how much about there is. I thought that's what I had figured, but I wanted to double check. There's about 1/3 of a yard of scraps in all, and it's not all the prints because some of the prints didn't have anything really left over. So of course I'll have a picture of this, but this is perfect for my crumb quilters. Those of you who like to do crumb quilting, it gives you a nice variety, and like I said, almost 1/3 of a yard. Now do remember, when you're bidding on these things, have fun bidding, but don't overspend. We're talking about 1/3 of a yard of fabric and free shipping, so you can include that in the bid price if you want. And but it's fun, and it's a good way to get a nice variety of scraps, and you got a little bit of me in your crumb quilt projects. So that is going to be up tonight at some point. Again, this is May 16, so do go check that out. What little tiny scraps remained, I try to make these at least 1 inch wide. If they're less than 1 inch wide, they go in this box that I'm saving for textile fabric, for textile art, for people who like to use even just threads as textile art. I have listed a couple of auctions for those, but I think at some point I might just do like a whole big bunch at once, and we'll just see. I don't know. So I hope you enjoyed looking at this fabric. Do go check out my eBay, even if this stuff doesn't make it to there. And if it does, I will certainly be posting on my YouTube community board. So when you go to my YouTube channel, click on the community tab. I don't think that's available on mobile, or at least maybe not yet, I don't know. I post a lot of stuff there for you guys, and you can also join my Peanut Gallery Facebook group if you want. And no, it's not broken. I turn commenting off on that. We can do that on groups, but not on Facebook profiles or pages. It confuses people because they're like, how come we can comment here but we can't comment there? And it's because I don't have the ability to turn comments off everywhere, because I would. I absolutely would. It keeps my world happy. So thank you so much for watching. I will be back with more soon. Bye.